Good evening, all. I hope you are with us. I hope you can hear us. I hope you can see us. As always, we're never too sure if we've hit the right buttons. I made it work. I did have a couple of minutes where I was hitting the little machine endlessly, trying to work out why we couldn't get it to go live. Then I realised we hadn't actually hit the right button to send it to the little other box. I don't know. All very technical. Last thing you need to hear is my waffles with technology. There is always a battle going on. My earlier battle today was with Skype. That's a confusing one, isn't it? So yeah, the battles just change as the day goes on, really. Always technology, never working very well in my world. I think it's probably me, not it. So, of course, tonight is a very, very, very exciting evening. I can see some of you are starting to join us, so that's good to hear. And I'm getting feedback that you can hear us and you can see us, which is lovely. But tonight is genuinely a very exciting evening because we've got, I said to you earlier, if you've read our post, about 20 new items to introduce you to. Never been very good at counting. I think it's more like 30 something, but we'll try and keep track as we go through them. But this evening is going to be jam-packed. I've got so much I want to share with you. And Pete keeps telling me that I'm only meant to go on for an hour because you're all going to get bored and go and leave us, which is absolutely fine if you do, no pressure. But it does mean that I probably shouldn't waffle forever. So with that in mind, should we say good evening to Peter, because he is here giving me the evil eye from the corner already. So let's make sure we welcome him before I forget.
No evil eye from me, promise. But, you know, evening all, how are we all doing? Hope you're all okay. We need the pub update, Kim. I see you're
Pub
here.
update from the
She's
Kim.
already been. How are we all?
Already been to the pub, already done a pub evening bit. Let's see, I can't actually see this today, so we're going to move the screen. I'll have to move it back again later, I promise. But let's just say hello to a few of you. So Kim is with us. Lovely to have you, Kim. Evening, Yvonne. Lovely to have you here, Wendy. We've got some lovely samples from Wendy to share with you all this evening. Evening, Lou. Evening, Alison. Evening, Sandra. Craft Bliss are with us. That's lovely.
Oh, evening, Julian, Barry.
Julian Barry are in the house. That's what we like to see. Lovely to have you with us, Julian Barry, and the lovely team at Craft Bliss. Evening, Lynn. We've got some lovely samples to share from Lynn as well. Evening, Judy. Evening, Pippa. Good evening, Sheila, Portia, Sandra, and Angela. It's so lovely to have so many of you with us this evening. I'm going to try not to bore you all to tears, but there is a lot to go through and some very exciting stuff and some bits that we've been promising you for a while. So shall we jump in and have a little look? Before we do that, actually, because of, I don't know when we'll get to demo. I have got demos lined up and we are going to try and share some inspiration with you, I promise. Bits of housework to get out of the way. There is a competition that you can win whatever we make. Hopefully we'll make something worth winning. We'll see. The question to that, which you can start putting in your comments now if you would like to, is it Shrove Tuesday tomorrow? So what are you going to have on your pancakes? Me and Pete will confess our pancake wishes later on this evening. But what would you like on your pancakes? And if you don't eat pancakes, because I'm sure there's somebody out there who don't like pancakes, isn't me. Love a pancake. But if you don't like pancakes, let us know what cheeky treat you're going to be having instead. But it's just some harmless fun. So drop something pancake related. Any silly pancake stories, we'll have them as well. Anything pancake chatty, throw in the pancakes. We like to know what's going on in your world. Other bits to tell you, if you're watching this on YouTube, that competition would have ended. This is for our Facebook Live on Monday night, Natters on Facebook, which is 7 p.m. on a Monday. We upload to YouTube afterwards. If you would like us to broadcast live on YouTube, we'd like to broadcast live on YouTube, but we do need 1,000 of you to subscribe to us on YouTube, and we're currently on about 660. So if you're somebody who'd like to see this broadcast live there as well, please do make sure you've subscribed to the channel, because as soon as we hit 1,000, we're going to open that up as well, and we're going to give Pete the job of trying to keep up with the comments on that one while I do Facebook. It's going to be a car crash. It won't be good. But at the moment, we are only live on Facebook. If you have any questions as we go through this evening, please let us know, and me and Pete will do our best to read them out and I'll answer them for you. The products we are launching this evening, so these are exclusive to Highlight Crafts or liveshopping.vip. I never know what to call it, but they will launch exclusively with those on Thursday. We will be live at 9 a.m. and 10 a.m, so a 2-hour launch for this collection. I'll then be on at 1 p.m. with a bring back of the tile collection, which is very exciting because I love the tile collection. So 1 p.m. tile collection, 9 and 10 we'll be having a little look at the brand new collection we're going to introduce you to this evening. Our lovely stockists, so Craft Bliss of course included, who I see are with us this evening, they will be able to release the goodies as of Monday, which I'm going to go out on a limb and say is the 10th of March, Peter.
It is.
Got
I'm
one
impressed.
right. So March 10th, 10 a.m, our lovely stockists will be able to supply you with these goodies. Now, like Craft Bliss, if any of our stockists, including Craft Bliss, are with us this evening and you would like to pop in the comments a link to your website or your store, wherever you are in the world, telling our lovely followers where they're going to be able to find these goodies once they're released to the stockists as of Monday the 10th, we would love to see you do that because it is all about building our community, building our stockists, building our following, building everything, really. That's our aim. Build, build, build. And with that in mind, our first item is going to be building on to one of our previously released collections. Have I forgot anything I need to tell them? I've told them the competition, I've told them where they can watch, I've told them when we can buy. What else have we not told them about? Is there anything else I'm missing? If there is anything you want to know, let us know in the comments. You may have seen quickly, just before we do move on, that we have announced this week that we will be doing shows with the craft store as well on next week's Monday night live Natter thing, whatever this may be called. We'll tell you more about the shows that are coming up with the craft store. They're not for a few weeks, so we'll tell you more about that next week. Tonight we've got lots to chock in and fill in. So, but we are excited about that, and we'll tell you about that then as well. So let's share with you the first product, shall we? So as I said, we are building on to a collection we brought to you previously, and that is our lovely metallic inks. Now this comes to us in a couple of different formats today. Our original 5 inks that we bought you were Royal Purple, Black Suede, Silver Lining, Brushed Gold and Sea Breeze Blue. Now if I had £1 for every time somebody had said to me, is there going to be reinkers? Are there going to be more colours? I could probably retire, genuinely. Today I am really excited to tell you we are bringing you reinkers. So there are reinkers to all 5 of the original colours. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, reinkers, we need them, but they're not the most exciting thing in the world. Oh my goodness, they are. I could literally fill this whole live this evening just talking to you about techniques, tips, ideas, ways we can use those reinkers. There is so much we can do with them. We will do a little demo with them later, I promise. But just to give you a little flash, have you ever thought of taking your reinkers and making misters out of them? Misters that match what you're stamping with. And actually, I'm going to give it away, ain't I? Do you see this colour in this bottle anywhere in front of you currently? Nor do I. Let's bring in the next lot. So, not only do we have reinkers to go with our original 5, we have 5 brand new colours to bring to the party. As you can see, they're a little bit brighter than our original 5. This is Fiesta, this is summer, this is Rio. This is what we need to get us through.
Do you want me in a Hawaiian shirt? Is that what you're saying?
What?
A little straw hat.
We could have done that. But it is. This is bright. We have got cactus green, sunrise yellow, sunset red, minty fresh and fuchsia pink are our 5 brand new colours that are going to be released, as I say, this week. Now, of course, we couldn't bring you just reinkers for the original 5 without bringing you reinkers for the new 5 to complete the metallic ink collection. I've done it wrong again. How do I do that wrong every time? Let's try that. That looks better, doesn't it? So we now have the complete 10 colours of inks and reinkers available for you. Now, the bit I have forgot to do today. Today's been a really funny day. We've been running in circles, haven't we, Pete? We haven't discussed post-its for the prices of these items. So come on, Pete.
Oh my goodness.
I know, I thought I was going to throw you under a curveball there, isn't it?
Hostage cam.
Hostage cam of fit.
It's under stress now.
Well, while we
What
swatch
would you like the
these,
prices?
I would like the prices of the reinkers and the prices of the ink pads, please. And please let me know why I'm swatching if I miss any comments.
I feel under pressure now.
Let's get Pete multitasking.
So your ink pad RRP is, I want to say this, Julie, don't tell me off if I got this wrong, $6.99. And then the reinkers, we want to try and bring these at a very good price, the best price we could. Reinkers will be out at $5.49 recommended retail price.
Just to give you an idea with your reinkers, there is, I forgot this, I'm going to desperately fight, 20ml. There it is on the front, big letters. I should know that, shouldn't I? There is 20 mils in these, which is a genuinely an awful lot of ink. when it comes to playing and doing different techniques with these. And I'm not going to linger long playing with inks at this stage because I want to get to demos and I want to take you through the rest of the new goodies. But there is so much we can do with these. I don't think this evening we're going to get through loads. On the shows, this is why we need to watch the shows, absolutely. The shows on Thursday, we will be able to do lots more with the inks then. And we'll also do some more next week when we do Stockist launch for our Monday night Natter. So they are your 5 new colours of metallic inks. Now these are alcohol marker friendly. That means that once you have stamped with them, if you want to colour in with an alcohol marker, you're not going to find that they bleed. I don't actually understand how that works. It wasn't something we knew that was going to be able to happen with these, but it is, and it does, and it's magic. They are also water based as such, if you like, so you can take these, you can mix them with water like you see in our misters. You can create misters, you can create paints with them, you can do all of those different techniques with them too. But once dry, they are waterproof, so if you want to go in and paint with them, maybe with something you've concocted like this, they're not going to bleed into that either. They are also pigmented, so you can heat emboss over the top of them. So if you do this and you want to add some clear embossing powder to the top of them, there is no reason why you can't. And as you can see, not only do they show up on white card, they show up on black card, which means they're going to show up on all of those different tones in between and give you some amazing colours. You're also, of course, going to see that the colour does vary depending on the colour that you put underneath them, and that can open up a whole world of possibilities and different options in how you can work with these. So I wanted to share these with you because to me that's a really exciting addition to our family of inks and products that I personally am really, really excited about. If you have a favourite colour already, let me know in the comments what your favourite colour is, and when we play with them a little later on, we'll try and do a little bit more with them, I promise. So, new inks, that's one good little thing, isn't it? What else can we bring you? What else can we tease you with? New inks means we need new stamps, doesn't it? So we've got brand new stamps. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth here. At some point this evening, and I might get it right the first time, I'm going to call this the agricultural collection, because I do it virtually every time I talk about it. I don't know where the farmyard idea comes into this. There is no farmyard. Do not get excited if you would like to see some farmyard stamps. It's just me constantly getting it wrong. It's become a bit of a running joke that I don't know the name of the collection, which isn't something new in fairness. But what we are introducing is not the agricultural collection. We are bringing you the architecture collection. Can you see now why I get it wrong? It's close, isn't it? It's close enough for me. These are 4 brand new stamps that are going to come in all throughout the year for all different seasons, reasons and occasions. And we've started off by trying to be quite varied. We wanted a collection that meant everybody in your family was going to be covered with one of the stamps in this collection. Now these are all A6 stamps. The recommended retail price for them is £9.99. This one, of course, is our lighthouse. So in here you've got one big focal point stamp. Now later down the line, and I'm not going to tell you much about it, but more will be coming that works with these. So this is the first level into another collection, but the sizing will become relevant later down the line. I'm talking May, June time. But in the minute, at the moment, completely fine to stand alone. With these, you've got always here for you. You light up my life. Thank you for being there. And ahoy there. So that's your lighthouse stamp. I'll show you samples shortly, I promise. Then we move on to our fairy tale castle. Now this one has got a little cloud of the sun, separate tree, little flowers, have the day of your dreams, you are a legend, and have a magical day added throughout it. Now I've been on quite a few holidays to a certain theme park that happens to have a castle in the middle of every one of them, and I'm seeing that this is going to go into my scrapbooking to accentuate those pages really nicely. So that's where I see this one. This one I'm seeing this coming in maybe for men's cards. Lighthouses are great for that, aren't they? But again, loads of different reasons we're going to be using this one. Then we move on. We have our church. Now, to me, the church is with us at every part of our life, isn't it? It covers everything. There isn't a celebration, a season, a part in time when the church isn't there for us in some way. So this one is a great one for anybody who, of course, is a bit religious and follows. So you've got on your christening, congratulations, on your wedding, with sympathy and thinking of you, along with a really cool detailed cross. That's such a pretty cross. You wait till you see that stamped, it's beautiful. This, of course, would also come in really handy for Christmas cards. So although we've kept it general and everyday, think about coming up for your Christmas cards. I've got a sample I'll share with that in mind shortly. Then we've got one for Kim. And I promised Kim this was in the works a little bit before we realised of your pub antics. But this is our village pub. So you've got one big village pub stamp, and then in here you've got your little wine glass, you've got a pint glass, you've got take it easy, here's to you, let's celebrate, fancy a pint, drinks are on me, and happy birthday. And those are your 4 architectural, had to read it, stamps in this release, which are a great little collection that hopefully you're going to have a lot of fun playing around with. Then to go with these, you know us, if we're going to build, and we know that we're going to be building our projects, we need a background to go behind the foreground. So here are our foreground pieces, we need the backgrounds to go with them. So let's bring in the rest of our stamps. So our first one here, this is our newsprint stamp. Now these are DL background stamps, so this means that we can pattern match these, we can build them out to be much bigger. If you want to cover a whole 12 by 12, you want to cover your front room walls, whatever you want to, you can match this up and carry on stamping it because it's of course a perfect rectangle. Now again, because I knew that we was going to be bringing this into all different styles, all different themes, this has got a little bit of everything on here. So you've got a perfume advert, you've got a craft market being advertised on here, you've got sports, you've got glasses, you've got some sewing machines, we've got all different bits of text, we've got a gossip column. There's little bits to tick in with every single aspect you can think of. I haven't done it. I want to make a little chip wrapping paper and put that with the lighthouse for the seaside aspect. To me, you'd go to the pub, you'd read the newspaper sat on one of these lovely little chairs in the garden. So here's your newspaper to go behind it. You know, to me, it's all about that carrying through of the theme. Then we move on. One of the cards we make the most throughout the whole year is Happy Birthday. So this is our Happy Birthday background stamp. So this is one stamp that gives you, I'm going to get it so you can see it. Please excuse the very loud banging. We have one stamp that gives you your Happy Birthday background. So whatever you're creating birthday card wise, this is the background stamp for you, because you can come in, you can stamp it all the way over your project and it's going to give you that birthday feel, that birthday incentive. In between, you've got some flowers, you've got some little hearts. These are ever so good for going in and just adding a little bit of colour to match in with whichever stamp or whatever product you're going to add over the top of it. The other point to note with these, and let's see if we can get to some bits here. This stamp, and here we go building a collection again. Here we go going right back to the beginning of Jamie Rodgers Crafts. Our pinstripe stamp. That comes in and fits in between those lines. So you can stamp your line in one colour and then you can stamp your word in another. And you can build up your backgrounds between the two, giving you a completely unique design every time you create with this. Of course, you might just choose to use just one of these. You might want to just stamp it, snip it out and use that as one happy birthday. On a few of the sample cards I've seen the DT have just stamped one line of it around the borders and bits like that. So you don't have to use it as a background, but this is your happy birthday background stamp. Then we move on from there and we go to our floral line stamp. So really cool, delicate little vine flower that goes, to me, really nicely with the church, with the pub, with the fairy tale castle, and gives that floral backing, that really pretty summery glimpse. Again, really easy to colour in with a little addition here and there through the flowers. And once again, I'll just reach into that stamp. If I bring out that floral vine here and we bring back in our pinstripe once again lays over the top so that you can stamp that in 2 times once again and create that beautiful pinstripe layered design. Now, when we bought out the pinstripe stamp, we bought you a snowflake stamp that again fits between those lines, and this come out in June, I believe, last year. So that's already available at lots of the stockists. It will of course be on the Highlight Craft shows, but it is bringing these new designs back to work with that original stamp to give you the ability to add to something you've already got in your collection. Now, as we've introduced all of the stamps, do we have Any questions, Peter, before I move on to the next new set of goodies?
I think you just answered Joanna's one. She said, what collection did the pinstripe one come out with? So was that Christmas?
It came out with Christmas. It came out with what we classed as festive wishes, if I remember rightly. Was it festive wishes? Christmas wishes? I think it was festive wishes. Yeah. You're nodding to both. That doesn't help. Does not help me, Peter. All I get is Peter sat over there nodding. Like, yeah, one of them. But it came out last, it was June or July. It was our second or third release, wasn't it? The pinstripe. And there's also stencils, Christmas stencils that go in between those lines as well, of like stockings and stars and bits. So you can texture paste as well as do your pinstripe stamp. We love it if we can bring out combos that work together, and that's one of those. But it's really nice to be able to go back and add more to that family, more to that collection, more to that library. Which brings us to our next new edition. I told you there's lots to do tonight, isn't there? Lots, and I haven't even shown you these samples yet. We have got 5 new expression dies or sentiment collection dies. These again are our double stacked sentiments, and these again are going to go in really nicely with this collection. So we have got with sympathy. So possibly we're looking towards the church here and thinking a nice sympathy title to go with that could work really nicely. We then have got with love. So maybe it's the church again and you're sending a wedding congratulations. Maybe it's to go with the lighthouse to, you know, G somebody up and give them a bit of support. Maybe it's to go with the fairy tale castle to a young one, you know, children, bits like that. Children, like we don't know what I mean by young ones. Then we move on to Happy Easter. Now, of course, Easter is going to go perfectly with that church once again. I really like the fact with these that you get the scallop edge as an invert and an outvert. They're not words, but you get both styles of it. So you can create that little bobble-esque frame and layer it up. I'll show you that when we show you the boards. Then you've got Happy Anniversary. And lastly, we've got Sending Love and Wishes. Now, you know this, don't you? There are already, is there 10 of these already, Pete? 15 of these? 10.
Yeah.
So interchangeability between the original 10 and the new 5. So every time we look at these banners, and you think of the words that are in them, think about changing the words in between the other banners or the words from the other banners into these ones. Everything mixes and matches. It's just a great way to play and explore. With my samples, I've used a lot of the outside edges and I've stamped the sentiments that come in the stamps on them instead, which of course works really nicely. Now then, Pete, on the cuff here, how much are they?
$5.49.
$5.49. So these are $5.49 recommended retail price for each of these ones. The DL stamps, I never told you those. Those are $11.99. So $9.99, $11.99, $5.49 is the recommended to be looking for those. Have we had enough yet? Have we blown our minds? Have we? That's a lot, isn't it? There's a lot going on already, but we're going to give you more because there's more to bring. We are getting to the end. But how many items have we gone through so far? We've done 5 sentiments. We've got our 4 picture stamps, avoiding the name, 3 DLs, 10 reinkers, and 5 metallic ink pads. What are we going to do with all this? Where are we going to use it? Where is it going to go on to? What are we building up from? We've got our backgrounds, we've got our words, we've got our focals, we've got our inks to do it with and colour it with. What are we going to be working on to? We're going to be working on to our brand new foiled inkables. Now there are 2 designs in these that we're bringing you. There is the new fancy circle, ooh, and there is the new plain square, ooh. Not good at this.
I apologise in advance for the sound effects.
Ooh. Well, when you're on your own, you have to kind of add that in. I'm going to have to get you
back in a
to.
minute.
I'm going to have to get you to do the U's in the future. Oh, we'll get a little button.
Oh, their bully comes up.
Little. Oh, I don't remember that.
Bullseye, come on.
I do remember bullseye, but I don't remember a sound effect.
You got it wrong, and the bully would come up in the bottom corner of the screen. And
I just remember roast potatoes.
Snort.
Roast potatoes with bullseye is all I can ever remember. It must have been on a Sunday. Probably wasn't in our house. It probably wasn't on a Wednesday at 7. But
I think it was a Sunday.
I think
Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So foiled frames in fancy circular, in gold and silver, and then your plain squares in gold and silver. And in these, you receive 10 sheets of each colour. And if you've not seen our foiled frames before, these are the great bases to work on. We call them foiled inkables because they're perfect for taking ink. You can colour them, you can mist on them, you can stamp on them, you can add to them, you can die cut them, you can score them, you can emboss them, you can stencil on them. They're just great foiled panels that can be the base to every project. And the foil will resist the ink depending on the type of ink you're working with. So we can go to town and colour those. And then that is all of our new goodies this evening. So foiled frames, architecture stamps, DL backgrounds, sentiments, reinkers and metallic inks. And then we are bringing back something which has come back into stock, which will be launching on the Highlight Craft shows once again. And that is our Clouded in Mystery, to which you receive 5 sheets in a pack. And it is
$3.99.
Thank you, Mystic Meg.
$3.99.
That was more the Cookie Monster or the Honey Monster.
Working my way through my library of voices.
So with this, if you've not seen it, it's like a vellum. It's really, really thick. And it's great because it means we can die cut it, we can stamp on it, we can emboss it, we can use it as our card blank if we want to by folding it. We can tear it to make really cool tear effects because it's got lots of strength to it. There is loads we can do with this, and we will play with this at some point, I promise. But again, that's back in stock and will be available to stockists and, of course, Highlight Crafts for this week's shows. So if there are any questions, please let me know. But if not, we will move on and we will show you some samples because it is all about the inspiration that the design team have bought for us. So then, let's start with our first picture stamp, which I think by memory is the church. Maybe.
You're correct.
Oh, thank you, Peter.
Look at that.
So then, with this beautiful church...
So what was that voice?
What? Let's say then.
Oh, thank you then.
Hang on. Let's not. We'll get told off. So this, of course, can be stamped onto a whole host of different pieces. Now, somebody last week, and I'm sorry I can't remember your name, I've got a memory like a fish. Somebody last week asked about MDF, so I've purposely done a few more MDF samples. And on this, you are going to see, hopefully, if I can get it right, there we are. We have stamped the newsprint in the background using the brushed gold of the metallic inks. We've added on the church and we've coloured that in. We might do a little demo somewhere along these lines in a minute if we get chance. Of course, these are really fun to just bring in your colours and add to, whether they're alcohol markers, whether they're your misters, whether they're watercolours, whatever you want to work with. These are just a great addition. But equally, and I often confess this, I'm not very good at colouring. So if you don't want to colour, these images, because they are so detailed, really do genuinely look pretty impressive just left in black and white or stamped and embossed. You know, it doesn't have to be that you're going to colour them to the nth degree. It can just be very plain and simple. This was my attempt at a Christmas version with our church. So I've brought in the holly corners. I've cut this into one of the plain square foiled inkables. I've brought in our classic poinsettia, I think it's called, but our poinsettia. And I've used the ink over the top of it, which is the Sea Breeze Blue, I think. We didn't have a new blue, did we? Yeah, it's a Sea Breeze Blue over the top, stamped with Sea Breeze Blue to show you how that would work if we didn't want to build it up. If you do want to do a little bit of colouring, but you're not the most confident colourist, just picking out the foliage and the bushes and the grass and those bits, just adding in a pop of colour can work really nicely as well. If you'd prefer to just heat emboss, here's one done by Ian, where he's just heat embossed it in gold. And you're also getting to see that beautiful cross. Isn't that cross spectacular? I'm so pleased with how that cross turned out. And I really like it done in the embossing powder as well. This one I think is Ian as well. Ian's made a little gatefold and added some details on the inside. And he's added the little church on the outside. Very, very cool. Another one here, this one is, another one by Ian, where he's put the little church on and he's embossed it in pink and then turned it very lovely. Added the congratulations on the front of the little easel. Very, very cool. This one's done by Sharon. Sharon's added some texture to her bushes with Flower Soft, forgot the name then, Flower Soft, which works really nicely. So think about bringing in products you possibly already have and adding to them. This one's really gorgeous. This one's done by Wendy. So Wendy's done the churches with sympathy and added some lovely flowers around it, layered it with the scallop circles and the pierced details. That looks really nice. And then I'm just going to show you one more. This one's done by Lynn. And Lynn's added in the pinstripe background with the floral vine, and then added those and cut those out with the circles, framed the beautiful church in the middle, added on some flowers. I thought that was really, really special. There is more inspiration, but I'm not going to, show you everything this evening. We'll show you lots more on the shows. And of course, next week when we're back for Stockist launch night, we'll show you a bit more then as well, I'm sure. But we'll show you bits this evening. So on to our fairy tale castle. So this is the inspiration for this one. So again, another little tag. So another MDF tag done in exactly the same way I mentioned we did the last one. So I coloured the tag, stamped on it with the gold ink, stamped the castle, and then coloured in with pencils. And again, we'll see if we can fit something in along them lines. This one's cool. This one's done by Ian, so it's one of them squidgy ones you can post down if you want to. But he's made it into a little scene and he's added little details on throughout the layers. He's also used the floral vine down the side. He's used the little "With Love" tab at the top there, which I thought looked really special. And I love the way Ian colours. He does the most beautiful colouring. Very, very nice. Going off on a completely different tangent, one done by me. Again, showing you don't have to colour them if you don't want to. You might, and we've done this several times before, where we've made little goodie boxes or little gift boxes, where we've stamped out pictures and then put some colouring pencils in the box and then give the box as a present so they can sit and colour in the card and then send them on, give them the envelopes as well in the little box. And you've made a lovely little present that somebody who doesn't necessarily make cards could then share. I always think that's a really lovely idea because the gift of giving something handmade or hand coloured is amazing, but not everyone can make cards or wants to make cards. So it's a nice way to give them that ability to hand on the beauty of handmade without having to necessarily do all the hard work. These are gorgeous, aren't they? So we've gone through Sharon's, Wendy's, Lynn's, Ian's. This one again is done by Lynn. I love the way she's coloured that castle. Isn't that gorgeous? She's properly built a little scene there. And of course, this is a opening card because I forgot the name. So we're going to call it an opening card. Like there's any cards that don't open, but it's an opening card.
Is it an easel, something like that?
I don't know. Waterfall, maybe? I don't know. I had it when I started the sentence. I had it.
Come on, Lynn, help us.
Help us, anybody. Anybody, rescue us. So yeah, I'm not going to show you all of these, but I am going to show you this. So this one is, and I love scrapbooking, and I said earlier, a little bit of scrapbooking's coming up with this collection because to me, these pictures really lend themselves to going in to that lovely sort of scrapbooky, picturesque theme. So we've added in, oh dear, we've broke the flower. Let's put that back. So we've added in the little stamped castle. The flowers are all cut out of our Clouded in Mystery. So they've got that lovely strength to them. So again, even in an album, you haven't got to worry about them getting squished because they're going to bounce back. So we've got flowers going around the edges. We've got the little sentiment panel being brought in here for the name and date bit. And on our Clouded in Mystery, you will see I've stamped, you like the way I pick it up every time I talk about it. I will remember what it is. I've stamped the floral vine and I've actually done that on the reverse. So it's more subtle. So it's not too heavy, but it just shines through and gives a bit of pattern. So yeah, that's our castle. Sidestepper, see Lindsay, oh Craft Bliss is here. Thank you all. You know what they are. Honestly, memory like a sieve. Thank you for rescuing me. So then we move on to our pub. So who doesn't love the idea of a nice little country pub with all those little sayings and your little wine glass and your beer glass? I just love this stamp because I think it's going to come in so handy for so many people. So if we start looking at some samples, these are just little quick ones where I've stamped. I've done this stamping, I've done this a lot. This is the newsprint stamped again in the metallic inks. I really like how vintage that looks. And I even went over the pub so that you've got a bit of sort of metallic to that as well. I thought that was quite nice. But there are lots of different samples here. Another little one card. Trying to do some small cards as well as some big ones. This one's done by Ian, where he's framed it in one of our foiled inkables. This isn't one of our new foiled inkables, but it's one of the original ones, which is lovely to see those being used as well. Another one here by Ian, where he has stamped the newspaper out beside the pub, added the little pub in beside it. One with Sharon, that Sharon's created here, using the lovely floral lace die set in the background to make up the 4 tabs, then adding in the components and the lovely pub in the middle. I'm not going to show you everything. There's so many to share with you tonight. This one's gorgeous. This one's done by Lynn. So Lynn has taken the pinstripe stamp and she has stamped it going in that way in red and that way in red. And then she's offset it and done it in grey in both directions to make up this cool sort of tartan background. Reminds me of picnics. Really like that. Summer's day at the pub. Then we've got little wine glasses, cheers, let's celebrate, and then with love all added in to match in with that beautiful pub. I thought that was gorgeous. And then, I'm not going to show you those, I'm going to show you this just because I like the flowers. So these again are flowers where I've printed the newspaper onto craft paper and then cut them out and layered them to make a little page, again using the newspaper print as the background and adding in the little pub down in the corner. So nice summer's day out at the pub, nice sort of pictures to go with that, added into the middle, dates and journal, job done, page created. And that's what I really love because these really give you that incentive to sort of get scrapbooking and show you different ways. There are so many more samples here and I'm not going to show them all to you because we'll be here forever and I do want to do some demos. So I'm going to try and speed up a little. So on to our lighthouse. Our lighthouse again doesn't have to be coloured perfectly, it doesn't even have to be coloured, but if you do want to go in and add a little bit to it, this one I've just taken a gold pen and traced around a few of the elements of the design. So it doesn't have to be complicated, it can be really simple. This one again just stamped in our blue metallic ink, which is Sea Breeze Blue. Another little vintage tag made on the MDF again, showing you again that you don't have to colour them if you don't want to. If you're not a colourist, we can just stamp them and leave them plain. This one is done very similarly, but added into one of our frames, our foiled inkable frames. This is gorgeous. This one's Ian, isn't it? Look at how special this is. How gorgeous is this? I really love this card. The little lattice corners are really lovely. Then you've got the beautiful lighthouse. We've got the pinstripe stencil being used in the reverse with the gemstones texture paste. It just builds up to look really, really lovely. Another one here done by Ian where he's used the Elite Misters to make up the background, added on the sending love and wishes, added the little stamping, added the you light up my life. This one's by Sharon. It's really cool again, isn't it? Showing you the purple lighthouse. And then I've got lots more to go through. This one's Wendy. So Wendy's, and this is cool, Wendy's done her own little card and made it out of triangular pieces. I thought that was really lovely. So the piece that she's cut out of the middle here, she's then turned and put on the inside to make up that segment. I really like that. I thought that was such a fun layout for a card. And then added on the little panel on the top there. Another one here done by Wendy. I've got to show you this one. Look at the little stopper. That's what I was on about with the Happy Easter, with the innie and the outie of the scallop. And then she's wrapped twine around it to match in with the life ring.
Porthole? Life ring?
It's a life ring. But I don't think, I looked at you because I don't think you call it a life ring. What do you call them? Thing you throw in when somebody's drowning.
Life buoy.
No, but aren't they the things that float out in the sea?
Lynn, we need your help again. We're very uneducated, us
We
two.
are very uneducated. Yeah. We'll move swiftly on,
Moving
Peter.
on.
Moving swiftly on. We'll show you another beautiful easel created. And then this one's rather impressive. Look at these. A little bit of texture paste through one of our stencils again around the edges. And then I've got more samples. I'm not going to show all of them because we'll be here forever. We've got so many samples to share with you. And then, we've got more from the newsprint. I love this newsprint. So this is our newsprint background. Whether we just make that the focal points of our card, whether we go in and cut bits out of it and sink things into it, whether we bring that back in with our steampunk collection, I really like this one, or like Sharon's done here, bring it in with our MDF, make a little pub notice board. I thought that was cool. Or this one, I think this is Wendy. Wendy's gone in and just used it in the background, added on some really pretty flowers. You know, this is one of those things that could go in for any occasion. Oh, Peter, you let me down. You sat down in the middle of that one and I sped up a bit, didn't I? I caught you unaware.
I was reading Charlene's comment. It is a life buoy. See?
Is it a life buoy, is it? Oh, thank you.
I'm on it.
Thank goodness that someone out there knows what we're on about and can interpret. We do need interpreters, don't we, really? It's scary. I'm sorry. You don't get this from other companies, do you? They know what they're doing. We don't. They ain't got a clue.
They're polished.
Polished. We're not polished. But we are human. Okay, so this one again is showing you our lovely floral vines. So floral vine background stamp being brought in, just used over the little circle here. Really cool. Added on the little cross. This one I think is Wendy's. Wendy's made a little picture card where you've got different layers, but I really like the way she's coloured that little floral line going down on the edge there and then created her different sort of fold out pieces. Very, very cool. And then where are we? Oh, we're then on to our words. So this is our happy birthday background. Just a couple to share with you from that one. Sharing with you how you can make like a little money envelope, a little money wallet, or you could use it to the background to our lovely pub, or of course with our castle. And then we've just got a few here showing you some ideas with the sentiments. So this one is our with love sentiment. So you've got the main sentiment, you've got the 2 panels that go with it, and this one's done by Wendy. She's just layered that up on the top there. Again, really lovely to see the lace being brought back in and added around the actual stamped image here of the newsprint, and the newsprint's been stamped using the new metallic inks. Then we've got the sending love and wishes. So again, all of your different components. One thing I would point out with these, we're getting quite large with these ones, so you could actually be using these as card shapes, as in like making up backgrounds with them. I don't know where my card's gone. I think I've got it in a kit ready to go, but I'll show you a card at some point where I've put 3 or 4 of them together and stamped on them, made that my card front. They're getting quite large, so we can do more with them than just add sentiments onto them. Although, as you can see, very, very special when we do. This one's by Lynn. Thought that was really, really pretty, very, very delicate. Then we move on to our with sympathy. So again, 3 dies in here, giving you the wording and the back panels. Just a couple of little sympathy cards to share with you on that one. Not everything has to be huge, does it? And then we've got Happy Easter. So our innie out is scallop and your Happy Easter come in that set. And then this is cool. This one's done by Wendy. She's done that clear texture paste over the gold mirror card to make the little textured egg that looks like a wrapping, like the foil we get on an Easter egg. I thought that was really, really cool. She even, I don't know how well you're going to see this, she even embossed it before she did that on, I don't know the name of the stencil, but our like grid stencil.
Is it large trellis?
Large trellis, it is, Pete. You are good. You are there.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. And then these ones here are done by Lynn, showing you some Happy Easter ones with the little eggs that have been popped in, and then the cross in the middle of this one. And then lastly, we're on to Happy Anniversary. And then again, you've got your 3 different components being brought in to be added onto a couple of cards. This is cool. This one again is done by Lynn. Love the way she's brought in our velvet script sentiment at the top there, matching in with a Happy Anniversary at the bottom, then beautiful flowers added to the middles. So we'll pass all of this lot off to Pete, and we're going to do a demo before I let you all fall asleep, because you've probably had enough of listening to me waffle and would possibly like to actually see something created. If anyone has any questions about any of the bits we've gone through, then please just yell and we'll do our best to answer them for you. As you can see, it's a big collection this time, but there's some really lovely bits to it. And it's kind of a collection like, sometimes we do a collection, it's like 8 things all in one line or one theme or one avenue. And this collection, I feel we kind of have gone off in tangents a bit. We've got the inks to play with. We've got the extra sentiments to give that interchangeability. We've got the reinkers, which are so much fun. So yeah, there's quite a few little bits here for people to explore and play with, which is kind of what we wanted to do, really. So what we're going to do to begin with is we're going to create this card here, which is bringing in our lovely church. And we're going to also play around with some of that clouded in mystery as well, just quickly. And we're going to start off by actually die cutting out from our foiled inkable. So I've got one here out of the pack. So as we can see, they start off quite large. If I go by memory, I think they're 20 centimetres by 20 centimetres. And we did this intentionally. We literally have these made for us. And we did this so that you could choose where you wanted to go with this. They're quite a nice weight, so you might think that you want to turn it into a box and you want to score around it and turn it into a box. You might want to turn it into a shaker element and cut out the middle, or you might want to go in with your inks and your mediums and add to it. So if we give you this little extra edge around the side, you've got them choices. If we trim it to where we think you're going to want it for a card, you've lost that ability to play. So we really are conscious that you might want to take it off in different tangents. But yes, 20 centimetres by 20 centimetres. For my card, this is a bit big for what I want. So I'm going to bring in some of our dies. And this is the beauty of having our different mats and layers dies. So we're going to bring in, I think that one. We will go with that one. So this, of course, is our fluted edge squares. And we're going to pop that on first of all. And then we're going to go to our scallop squares and we are going to find an edge. Oh, that would be nice because that would be on the inside. We might have an inside edge as well. I didn't do that before, but we might on this one. That's a bit big, so we'll go down one. We'll see how that goes. Is that going to go? Oh, that looks good. Brilliant. So we'll use the scallops and we will use the flutage if I can find some tape. Oh, Oh, this ain't going to plan, is it? There we go. We have some tape. Let's just work out where we want those to be, and then we'll send it through. So we're going to go for that one on the inside of the gold frame. And then we're going to line that one up out there somewhere. And then we're going to add in our pierced element on the middle there. While I'm doing this, Peter, what pancake ideas does the world have? What have they all come up with?
Oh, I did spot one earlier that was Marmite.
Oh, Marmite?
Very.
Oh, there is no judgment.
No, there can't be.
Not with my eating habits.
Give me a bit of Nutella and ice cream. Oh, yes, please. Other hazelnut spreads are available.
Is that the one that's winning for you? Not that that's going to be how you choose your winner, but is that out of the flavours, is that the one that's winning?
A few mentions for lemon and sugar. Keep it simple.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Simple.
No, a bit of banana and ice cream and...
Banana. That nearly makes a pancake healthy. Does that work?
Kind of. A bit balanced then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alison think me lovely glue lady reckons I need a pay rise.
I don't know about that, Alison.
No,
Steady on.
Just released from hostage cam is enough.
Oi. Stop begging to be saved again. Alison, what reason have you come up with that Pete deserves a pay rise?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is what we need to know.
I think because I was working hard, handed the
samples.
samples.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah,
they're
she's
very
working
generous.
for a name badge. I really need to sort her a name badge.
We could do that.
The glue lady.
The glue lady. The glue lady. We could send her out and about to places. I don't know where or why.
Pimp Alison out.
Pardon?
Pimp Alison out.
You can't say that. We could send her door to door like the Avon lady. Ding dong,
she
glue
opens
lady.
the coat and all the glue bottles are in the coat like Del Boy.
Oh dear.
Oh Mary, Nutella and banana pancakes, that sounds nice. Or May, fudge sauce and ice cream. Now we're
moving swiftly on from sending Alison out to sell our glue on the streets. Oh wait, that's not me.
I think she'd do it.
I think she would. I think she would. She does love our glue. So we're going to bring in the pub stamp. I don't know why I've gone for the pub stamp. I think it was talking about the idea of sending out Alison. We're meant to be doing the church.
She said she has been gluing today.
Have you? See, practice.
She said yes, please.
Sales pitch tactics.
Yeah.
Practice. I like that.
What are the top 3 qualities of the Jamie Rodgers Crafts glue?
So there is our lovely pub. Of course, fits very nicely inside the fancy circle frames as well. And of course, between your stamp designs, there is quite a bit of interchangeability with them. So like you've got the cloud and the sun coming up that comes with the castle. You might wish to add that into the sky here if you want to. There's no reason why you can't. Now, I have realised that choosing the wrong stamp really doesn't help somebody who forward planned the colours of pens they was going to use to colour in. But that's not the end of the world. We will do very similar. So we're going to. This idea was to show you that you don't have to colour everything to make it come to life, because sometimes I think less can be more. I don't often work by them principles when making cards, but every now and again it's nice to show you that we can be a bit more pared back if we want to be. So I'm going to go in with an alcohol marker, and this is just a lightish green, quite a nice green actually.
Alison says, why not? Should just shout, glue, lovely glue, come and get it.
Glue, lovely glue. I like this. I think we could do this. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to, you know.
Oh, Sandra, pancakes with cherry pie filling and ice cream. Oh, I used to love that. I think it was Morton. You used to get a tinned cherry pie filling. That's cheating, but that's good.
That was good, was it?
Stick it in a pie.
Happy memories. So what are you going to have on your pancakes tomorrow night? Now you've got all of these suggestions. What ones are you going with?
Oh, I think ice cream and just some chocolate sauce would be nice.
Okay, fair dues. Fair dues. I don't venture very far off the normal for mine. And by normal, I mean my normal, not the world's normal. I think it's probably quite weird. I like Cornish ice cream with golden syrup and sugar. That's my favourite little combo. So all I'm doing now is I've got this pen that's got quite a nice golden Looks a little bit like a golden gel pen, but without being a gel pen. Not that there's anything wrong with a gel pen, other than I can't find mine. So we're going to add in just some nice additions. Now on the church, I went for the roof bit and around these pieces and edged around the windows, and you can see just a glimpse of the bell in the top there. So I've added in a little bit of gold for the bell. But with this one, we're going to do the struts of the roof, which I don't think is the right name, but we're going to go with it as if we know what we're talking about.
It sounded good.
Did it? I don't think they are struts, are they? The arches, the eaves? The eaves.
Eaves. The eaves sounds better.
The eaves, yeah. Sounds like a band. And then we'll colour in the little fox that's on the pub sign. And then I think that'd be enough. And this is what I mean about not having to necessarily do all of it. And if you're a bit shy or conscious of your colouring, it doesn't have to be bold. I just did the tops and the bottoms of the plant pots, but we could fully add in the plant pots to give a bit more to the base of this if we wanted to. But you can just choose where you want to go, can't you? But it's, to me, it's nice to see not everything has to be coloured. Just little pops of colour dotted around can really bring that pub to life and give it kind of a nice look. And of course, it's got a beautiful thatched roof on that one, so we could easily add in some detail to that if we wanted to. If we wanted to maybe go for an extra colour, but I'm happy with where we've got to. So we're then going to move on, and we're going to show you our Clouded in Mystery. And for this, we are going to go back to one of our very first dies that we've ever released, which is our Forget Me Not flower. And we're going to bring in that sheet I was playing with a little while ago, and we're going to place this down, and we're going to cut out some of these flowers. Now, this is quite a thick material to be cutting from. I'm trying to remember the GSM on this.
375.
375. So it is a bit of a chunk. So when we're cutting this, you can use it with your lacy dies, absolutely. So when we look at these frondy bits that we've got here with our Cosmos foliage, they're very delicate. When we bought this out the first time and it sold out like instantly, and I do literally mean instantly, we was cutting the corners that come out with the very first collection, and that worked beautifully. So you can go quite delicate with it, but just be conscious, it is a thick material. It's 375 GSM. That's, you know, when we talk of our elite card being 300 GSM, we're that plus 75, obviously. So, you know, it's quite a material. But that really brings with it that strength and core that we need to be able to build and construct and use it for flowers that aren't going to get squished, and card wraps and all of those bits. So we'll take these and we'll just place these out. We got them all. It's just a couple more hidden away in there.
Natalie's just asking, even Natalie, is there a giveaway today? Yes, there is. So we're asking, is your favourite toppings for your pancakes? Or if you don't have pancakes, what will you be having tomorrow night instead? She says she's loving everything. She needs to have a word with her husband.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Make him some nice pancakes, Natalie.
So we're going for bribery. Is that what we're
Bribery.
suggesting?
Yeah.
Bribery. Okay, fair dues. So with our flowers, with these, we can shape these in many ways because it's such a material. It's got a lot of body to it. We can shape them in great ways to give body to them. For this flower, all I'm going to do is take each of the petals and pinch it. Now, if you was doing an ordinary paper cut for these, you might find that they're going to get squished down quite easily. These won't, because of that amount of body to them. They're going to stay up quite nicely. And I've mentioned this because sometimes when we do home decor and MDF projects and bits like that, because of they're out to the elements, they can lose their body quite easily. With this, because you've got more strength to it, this is a really good material to be adding to all your MDF projects, all of those photo frames that we want to do, anything that we really want to stand up to the test of time. And on top of this, we can colour it. So we're not planning on colouring this in this demo or for this project, but there's no reason we can't colour them. Now, my tip when I colour these, the same as if I'm colouring over any die cut, is colour on black card, not white. We tend to go for white copier paper whenever we're doing colouring, usually. But actually what that does is it matches in with the piece we're colouring over, and you don't always see if you've missed a bit. If you colour on black card absorbs the alcohol marker, so you don't end up not being able to see through all the colour lines that you've got going on behind it. And if we miss a bit on this panel, it's going to stand out like a sore thumb, and you're going to be able to go back in and colour over the top of it. So my tip for colouring our Clouded in Mystery is do the top, give it a flip, colour the reverse, and then once that's dry, which might take a second depending on your brand of marker, go back to the front and colour over it again. And I just use the chunky end of my pen, and that gives me a really nice coloured effect. This one's quite vibrant and quite a new pen, but it's a nice way to add colour to them. Then once you've done that, and this is still a bit wet, but we can then go in and we can shape this and form it. Pinching these with our tweezers is another good one to give them a bit of depth, but they make really pretty dimensional flowers. So I've gone ahead and I've done this already for speed because I knew I'd waffle lots tonight and you're not going to get to see as much as you should. So I've cheated. And for the card, I've actually used the Rippled Blossoms flower instead of the Forget-Me-Not. And although this is a more delicate one, I'm doing exactly the same. I'm just pinching around each of these petals. If you find it difficult on a more precise one like this, bring in something like a paintbrush and round it around that, and it will give you that same domed look to each of your petals. And then you can just give that a bit of a squidge up and then start bringing in your other layers and layering them together. This is what I've created. Now, I think that is really special. This gives me, and it's not because I've made it at all, it's not a big-headed thing, it's more an anyone can do it thing, but doesn't that look like beautiful flowers you could put on a wedding cake? I don't know why, all I think is weddings with this. I just thought they were so pretty, and this is just leaving this plain. If you want to colour it, you can do, but unlike vellum, where you've got fears that bits are going to get tatty, oh, there it goes and pulls one off, you haven't got to worry about that, because they're a lot stronger, unless you do a me, and pull it, but they're a lot stronger and going to stand up to a lot more time and wear and tear, which is what we need. So we're then going to go on to our card, and we're going to bring in our card base, and we're going to give that a measure so you know what size we are. We are 6.5 inches by 6.5 inches, and we're going to bring in some gold mirri because we're going to match in the mirri with the gold that is in our frame. Because if we've got that foiled gold element and we're going to add gold gems and we've done gold doodles on the picture, it'd be nice to match in the gold elsewhere too. So we'll do our first layer and then we'll bring in some white and add that on the top. All Fran's thinking hair decorations. That's a nice idea. That'd be a lovely idea to put that onto those. Build up that kind of brooch look maybe. Oh, that's not quite right. Try that one again.
Sharon was asking if there'll be a range of JRC alcohol markers.
I love the way you throw in questions at me to answer.
I'm just
reading the questions.
Reading
yeah.
Sharon's question.
That is a very good question, Sharon. I don't believe we should ever lie, so I will tell you the truth. It is something we are working on. I'm always far too honest. I don't think many brands are honest, or not, that's wrong. I don't think many brands confess as much as we confess. And I'm not always convinced we do it right, but we do tell you the truth when we know it, we tell it. With pens, we have to have huge quantities. We are talking huge quantities. So it's just something we're trying to iron out the details. We also don't want to bring you a pen, and we do this with everything. We don't want to bring you a pen that's already the equivalent to one that's necessarily already on the market. If we're going to do a pen, or we're going to do an ink pad, or we're going to do something, we want to make sure it's better in some way. Now that might be price point, that might be colour range, that might be in pen world, the nib that we put into it. But to me, if I'm going to bring it to you, I need it to be better than what I feel is already readily available in some format, to make sure that we're bringing you the best we can bring you. But it is something we're working on. Pens to me are a very important part. I'm not the best colourist. I'm not somebody who's going to take paints and do a whole watercolour landscape with them and make it look wonderful. I'll give it a try, but it won't look wonderful. Where I can hide behind pens a little bit more. So, because they just sort of do a lot of the heavy lifting for me. So if we can bring you some pens, we will do. It's, as I say, genuinely being discussed, worked on, spoken about, isn't it? Is that all we get from you? I waffle for 5 minutes about a pen, and you go, But yes, it is something we're looking at.
A work in progress, isn't it?
So that completes our church. Very simple, very quick, very easy card. Not complicated. If you're somebody sat there going, I love the look, but I don't know if I'd like stamping. I'm not very good at colouring. These stamps, I think, are doing the heavy lifting for us. All you need is a stamp press, good quality ink, and you can get stamping and creating exactly what I have. There was nothing in this that is at all challenging and absolutely easy for anybody to recreate if they would like to. So that's our first demo. Now, how are we doing for time? I think we're coming up just to about the hour mark, aren't we? I would like, if that's all right with you all, to play with the Reinkers. And I do mean play, because there is so much we can do with these. And I'm not going to get a chance to talk about half of it, I doubt, in this live. But we will do more in the coming weeks, I promise. But I do just want to delve into them a little bit and talk to you about the Reinkers a little bit. And then we'll try and fit in one more demo if we get time, but I don't want to keep you here all night. So the Reinkers, we introduced you to these at the very beginning. There are the 5 colours that match the original 5 inks, which are these 5, and they go with those. And then there are the new 5, which are going to go with our brand new set of 5 Reinkers, 5 pads, sorry. So you've got 10 colours in total. We've got black suede, royal purple, sea breeze blue, brushed gold, silver lining. That was the original 5. Then we've got the new 5. Sunset red, minty fresh, fuchsia pink, cactus green, and sunrise yellow. So we're going to play with the Reinkers, and we're going to play with a little bit of all of them, I think, because that's going to be more fun. So the first thing I wanted to share with you, because this really blew my mind, this again wasn't something I thought about when we was coming up with the Reinkers or when you was all requesting the Reinkers. I was very much a Reinker. I'm going to take the Reinker, I'm going to use my pad till I've emptied the pad, and I'm going to bring the Reinker in, and I'm going to go over the top of it, and I'm going to let that set. And then I've brought more new life to my pad. Very important and great that we can do that, and a great ability to have. But what's more fun is thinking of all of the different things we can do with them. Since these have arrived, I'm kind of regretting that we called them Reinkers. I wonder if we should have bought them out and called them something like pearl drops or something, metallic drops, I don't know, and then told you just that you could use them to refill your ink pads, because I think Reinkers might make people think that's all they're good for, and that is such the wrong expression, such the wrong thing to think. So let's talk about techniques. Bottle of water, old mister. Being honest with you, I have tried to do these for every colour, so I've got all different bottles going on here. Most of them are Elite Mister bottles that I've emptied. So it doesn't have to be a brand new bottle. It doesn't have to be the perfect bottle. That's a rose petal pink bottle with a lovely bright yellow in it. I will at some point peel off the labels, but I think it's nice that you can see they can be any. All I'm going to do is take the blue of the Sea Breeze Blue Reinker, and we're just going to drop a bit into the top. Doesn't have to be loads. We can always add more. And this is something else. We haven't just got one colour, because of the more we put in, the more intense it's going to be. The less we put in, the weaker it's going to be. So we might start off with a light blue and then intensify that to a dark blue, or we might have 10 of these and make 10 different shades between them all.
Say hello to Jeanette. She's joining us from Australia.
Good evening, Jeanette. Jeanette is from our lovely J-Craft in Australia.
She is, and I think it's about 7 in the morning there.
My goodness, Jeanette,
She's
we are
dedicated.
The last thing you need to be waking up to.
Maybe she's getting her pancakes ready.
She might be.
Day early, mate.
Jeanette, if you haven't joined in yet, you need to tell us, do you have pancakes and what do you have on them? This is our question of the evening. I think I can go out on a limb here and say that Jeanette has a very large order heading her way, does she not?
She does. It was packed today and left the building.
Did it? So it's en route to Jeanette as of right now. Brilliant.
Yes,
Jeanette's got lots of new Jamie Rodgers Crafts goodies heading her way, including, I can say this, the new Reinkers, hasn't she?
She has, yes.
I love the way I have to check this. I'm sure everything emails about Reinkers, but she has got Reinkers going her way, hasn't she?
Because it's going to take a while to get to her. She's had a little bit of a special treatment. It's going to take a while to get there, isn't it?
Right,
so,
it is. All of our other stockists, keep an eye out. Your email is coming telling you about the Reinkers. Tonight is our sort of kick-off for them. But as you can see, diluting that down into your mister makes the perfect mister. Now, I'm just going over white card with this. This is just our polar white card. But of course, we could be doing this over a stencil to make some lovely backgrounds. We could be using this to paint with instead. You know, there is so many options. And this will dry with a bit of a pearlescence to it, because we're still going to maintain that micro elements. I'm going to give you a little waft of these. These are the sheets. I've only just done these, not just, but today, showing you all the different colours. So I haven't cut them down yet, but hopefully you can see the pearly shimmer to them. Now, whenever we talk about pearl in a mister, we tend to worry, will it block our bottles? I haven't found that at all with these. These are going through absolutely perfectly. I think it's because there isn't actually like a proper mica particle as such shard in them. It's a really fine pearlescence that's actually within the Reinker. So when it goes through, it's giving us that micro fine pearlescence and shimmer. I love this gold. How beautiful is that gold? Hopefully you can see that come through okay. It's got such a lovely sheen to it. This green is really lovely. This, of course, is the Minty Fresh. And then our lilac there is done by the Royal Purple. So yo-yoing for all the different ones. So we'll get rid of that for a second. And we'll go on to something else. So these are, so you know, if we take the Reinkers, we can use them direct from the bottle. So if you wanted to take that down to your project for some reason, you absolutely can do. There's no reason why we can't. It doesn't have to be going into a different product. You can then bring in your blending tools of whatever description that may be and blend that colour out. So of course I'm just doing this with my finger, but there's no reason why we can't be using all of our different applicator tools to blend that down to wherever we want it to be. You might even bring in different colours and make your own mixes. You could do that. Actually, that's something I haven't thought of. Let's see how that works. Let's bring in this lovely pink. This is the fuchsia pink. And we'll bring in the yellow. I know this is silly because this is like 101 of crafting and thoughts, but I hadn't at any point thought about doing this. But let's make our very own unique colour, because that I'm sure is something we're going to want to know about. So now, what have we got now? Oh, that's nice. That's gorgeous. That's like a nice sort of sunrisey shade, isn't it? So yeah, absolutely, we can mix these if we would like to. I don't know if I've got a lot left now, but we can mix them if we would like to in that format. Now, talking of mixing, this is where the real fun comes in. Let's talk about mixing them in with things. So this is our clear texture paste. And we'll dig into this to see if we can find a palette knife. So this is how I would look at this, or how I am looking at this. I've got the ink pad. That means I can stamp with this. I've now got the ability, I can mist with it by putting it into my mister bottles. I'm now showing that I can blend with it, but what about if we start mixing it into all of the different mediums we've already got, and some of the ones that I can't even talk about yet that will be coming soon. Let's take this clear texture paste and mix in that fuchsia pink. Now we've got a texture paste that can go through a stencil, that can be used over mirror card, that could go on acetate, that could do all of the same things we could do with clear texture paste that we've brought you in previous videos. But we've now got that ability to colour match the same pink that we can mist in and the same pink that we can stamp in. We can do all of that from one bottle. To me, that's really exciting because it means I'm getting more value for money out of the products that I'm working with. Now, on top of that, we don't have to stop there. If we go to our gemstones texture paste and we say, well, actually, we're going to mix some of that in, and then we're going to bring in, let's go for the royal purple, and we're going to mix this in. So we've got the silver of the gemstones, which is called argentite, and then we've got the royal purple, and let's mix. We'll bring in that lovely fuchsia as well, and we'll mix all of that together. Between our combination now, we've made our very own purple encrusted glittery texture paste. Now this is what we go on about time after time, about having ingredients that we can bring in and mix. And this time I feel we've brought you 10 colours to really go to town with and add into all of those different combinations. So I'm going off on tangents here, and I shouldn't be, because I said I couldn't do loads on this, and we've got more to come, and I promise there'll be more of it. But it's nice to show you just a couple of bits. So let's show you this. This is all 10 colours mixed into clear texture paste. So you've got the gold, the purple, the mint, the silver, the yellow, the blue, the black, the fuchsia, the cactus, and the sunrise. So all 10 colours mixed into clear texture paste. So the texture paste is obviously giving us that lovely shine, but you've also got that metallicness, for want of a better word, coming through within that as well. And this, of course, is going to maintain our texture, which is really cool. So that's one of the demos we did. This is taking the texture, the Reinkers, putting them out onto card, so you can see how they're going to sit on their own right. Then, talking of mixing into texture paste, how about if we brought in our Gemstones White? This is our diamond white texture paste. And we did exactly what I just did, mixing the colours into that texture paste. So all 10 colours being mixed into our white glittery texture paste. So you're maintaining the glitter, we're colouring the medium in which that sits in. So we then end up with a completely different effect once again. Then we go on to another technique. What about if we took our glue, so Alison's going to like this, what about if we took our glue and we put this out onto our mat and we mix the colour in to our glue? We're then going to end up with a metallic matte finish that again could go onto all of our different materials. So our glue will dry on mirror card, it will dry on acetate, it will dry on glass for decorative uses. So where these would only dry normally on non-porous surfaces such as card, by mixing in the glue, you've got the bonding agent to then take that and put it onto all of them different items. So maybe you've got some stained glass style dies and you want to paint those in with a new product. Do this, mix in your glue with your lovely Reinkers, and you have then got a medium to which you could be painting on all of those different elements with. And then lastly, because I've been waffling about these for a while, think about adding them into your shaving foam techniques and doing your backgrounds with these. So when we bring in shaving foam and we put that into a big ice cream tub and we drop on top these colours, give them a swirl and then put our card through it, these are the effects we're going to be able to create. And of course, you're still maintaining that metallic, you're still getting that shimmer come through. I've never been able to do that before with any product I've come across, but now I can with the Reinkers. And then lastly, and then I promise we're going to do another demo and then we're going to leave you in peace because I've gone on for hours. Lastly, technique-wise, and this varied depending on the colour I was working with, fill a bowl with water. Drop on your colours like you're doing marbling and then dip your card into the water. This is what come out. How cool are these? So again, colours seem to vary a bit. Some colours sunk because they're not a marbling ink. That isn't what they're intended for. Some colours just kind of subdued and disappeared to the base of the bowl. Other colours lingered longer and that allowed me to take my dips from them. My favourites were the darker colours. So you look to like this is the black. How cool is that? And we still maintain that metallic finish. So just something else you can play around with. Not the intended use, but another fun way in which we can use them. So we can do some marbling, we can do shaving foam technique, we can mix them into our clear texture paste, we can mix them into our glue, we can mix them into our coloured texture paste, we can paint with them, we can turn them into misters. Any other ideas anyone's got, let me know, because this is what this is all about. It's kind of working together, isn't it? The one I haven't tried yet, but I'd like to, is mixing them into like a white gesso and seeing how I can create my own coloured paints with them too. Can't see why we couldn't. I think that would work really nicely. So if anyone's up for sort of any other suggestions, any other thoughts, let me know. We'll see what we can play with next week. I'll try and get some white paint and some white gesso. We'll have a play on that. But yeah, I think these are one of them products. So not only are they going to work right now with the bits we're talking about, you're going to see these come back in time, aren't they, Pete?
Yeah, indeed. May says about using wash-up liquid and blowing bubbles, maybe. I can see you doing that whilst I'm at work tomorrow.
I don't think tomorrow I'm going to have time, sadly. But May, that's cool. We could do that, couldn't we? Oh. But this is what it's about, isn't it? It's about thinking of all of them different ideas. I know the DT have been giving me ideas and we've kind of been chatting, and I know they've got some ideas they're kind of working on. But I think there's going to be quite a few different bits that could work with those. Wendy, could you do the coating crystal effect with them, Jen? Yes, because you could put down your glue. Oh, here we go, Wendy. What have we got? can you find me some acetate, please, in my tower? Do you mind? I know there's some in there.
No.
It'll save me reaching. We'll do this while we're looking, and then we'll do that, Wendy, if Pete can find us some acetate. So this is just a quickie, because I can't remember who asked last week about MDF, but colouring MDF. That ink pad ain't the right ink pad. That's not my right ink pad. Let's try another one. That one's beyond its life. Here we go with another shaded lilac. Oh, that's better. So you can see why. I need refills for these. I've got to get some refills. We've got refills. I need to use refills. I don't have refills for them. But we're going to use our shaded lilac ink, and we're going to go straight over the top of the MDF. Not necessarily the best thing to do with your ink pad. So if you've got some gessos or different mediums or different inks, feel free to do that. But to me, this was a nice, quick, easy way that I could colour my tag and give it a bit of shading. I also like the fact that the MDF come through from underneath because I'm not completely covering it. Oxide inks are kind of nice for this. Dye inks are great because dye inks will absorb into the MDF and you'll get a bit of texture to them. But I like the way the oxide kind of sat on top, and we've still got a bit of the texture of the MDF coming through from underneath it. We're then going to go into a stamp press, if I can find where I put my stamp press. Getting to that stage already where I'm getting into chaos. Let's see, here we are. One stamp press. So we're going to bring that in, and we're going to hold down our MDF between a couple of magnets, and we're going to find our background stamp for our newsprint. I love this stamp. This is a stamp you're going to see so much more from in the coming months as well, because of every time I think of a different technique with it or a different look with it, I go back to it, and I've really enjoyed this because it's just got so many styles and times and occasions. I think this is going to come in for that sort of vintage aspect that we can create with a newsprint. I think is really nice. I know I'm talking early again, but I think a newsprint could work really nicely to make sort of vintage Christmas looks as well. So maybe some nice sort of metallic-y vintage poinsettias sat on top of a nice vintage newsprint, cut with maybe, by the time we're talking Christmas, a nice DL postage edge die, maybe.
Wow.
That'd be nice though, wouldn't it? Joanne keeps asking for them. We've got to do them. They've got to happen. So yeah, that will happen. But we're going to go over the top. We're going to go over the top of the tag, and we're going to stamp that. So we've got our nice vintage feel to our tag. We're then going to bring back the gold ink, and we're going to edge around the tag before we move on to the next bit. Just so we've got a nice gold tinge coming in around the sides there. We're then going to put that back in place. We're going to remove this stamp, and we're going to pick a picture stamp to go over the top. So we will go with the lighthouse, and we're going to place that around about there. And we're going to pick that up, and we're going to stamp that with our black ink once again. So do you all have a favourite? What or which one is your favourite? Do you prefer the lighthouse, the pub, the fairy tale castle, or the church? It's always nice to know what your favourites are. So we've now got our lovely lighthouse stamped out over the top there of our vintage background. So we're really building this up, and we're getting our depths going on. And this is really quite simple. We haven't done too much, have we? We've coloured with a bit of ink, we've stamped, and then we've stamped on top of our stamped image. So we're just layering the layers really of ink without adding too much to this, or without really going off on any, what I would kind of class as like MDF techniques really. We haven't brought out the paints, we haven't brought out anything else that's particularly messy, we haven't gone too mixed media-y, we've just kind of built up. And then because we're working on top of oxide ink, if I brought in something water-based, I found that the oxide ink obviously did what it's meant to do, and it comes back to life, and then we end up with kind of a mismatch of colours. So this time instead, I'm going to use some colouring pencils, and I'm just going to go in and add some colour to just a couple of areas of this stamp. And we don't, again, just like we did in the first demo, we don't have to highlight all of it. It can just be a few areas. So we're going to add in our red lighthouse, and then we're going to have to colour in some sea because we can't not have the sea shaded. So we're going to add in a bit of blue for the sea coming round into our image, and then up there into those lovely big waves which are coming in crashing up against that cliff. I'm going to add those in there. And then we can give that a little bit of a rub just to blend that in slightly. Because that's all sat there on top of the oxide. It'll give us a second to blend it. And then maybe we'll add in some green coming down this hill, just so we can see that there's a bit of grass and a bit of a hill coming in down that side. So we'll pick up a few of these pieces for the cliff. And then we'll go round to that side and we'll add a bit of green going in down that side of the picket fence. And then I would tie a ribbon through that. And that could be our little tag created, our vintage seaside tag. Now again, if you're making to sell, maybe you might want to add some varnish over that. Maybe you want to colour the reverse and add something on the back of it. Maybe you want to add the same stamped image on the back of that too. But I think we did that in like, what, 3 or 4 minutes? 5 minutes maybe? That wasn't a lot of time because the image has done the heavy lifting for us. We've just got to add in a pop of colour, vintage up our tag a little, and we're good to go. Throw in a bit of ribbon, and I think that could be easily quite a nice sellable product, hopefully, if you're somebody who's making to sell, or maybe you're just making to give, or maybe you want to do some home decor and pop it in different places, you know, all different options. So Wendy asked about our caught in crystal, didn't she? So what we're going to do is we're going to put down a base of our glue on top of the acetate. Now I haven't got any tissue paper up here because it's a while since I've done caught in crystal. So I know I haven't got any tissue up here, so we might have to just pretend we've added that on the top, but we'll give it a go, see what we can make. So we'll add down the glue. That will be the medium that's going to work between the acetate and the bits we put on the top. Now I don't know if I've got a water mister that I haven't put colour into because I've got a bit carried away with the colours. So we're going to pretend this is just plain water and we're going to mist this into our glue. Doesn't matter because we're going to add colour over the top anyway. And we're going to place that down and we're going to start moving that around in to cover our area. Is there any other questions, Pete?
No, I don't think so.
Looks a bit eggy this
Not
one.
loving for the stamps.
Did anyone pick a favourite?
Pub or the church? Probably church so far as the winner.
Okay. Any other pancake related chit chat that I need to know about? Any suggestions for pancakes?
Well, there was a lot of suggestions. Quite a few savoury ideas actually as well. I always think of them as a sweet. They can be savoury, can't they?
Will you guys see if you can find me some tissue paper, please, downstairs? Can you do that?
I might see you tomorrow.
Look in the top of the shelves. Sorry, Pete. I'm certainly on a mission, aren't I?
I've
Look
been
in the
released
top
from
of
hostage
shelves.
corner.
You are being released temporarily. You need to come back though. Don't leave us.
I may not return.
They're not in safe hands if I'm on my own. But if you don't mind, can you find us some tissue? Look on the top of the shelves, see if you can see any up there. If not, any kitchen towel would do for this. It's not vital. So I'm taking my Reinkers and we're placing them down. We're going to give that a bit more of a mist so it stays wet for a while. And then we're going to bring in, I don't know. So I'm tempted to go in and splodge them about a bit. I think I need to. I think I'm going to. Instead of just doing it with a tissue, we might bring in a bit more. I like that purple. Should we bring in a bit more of the pinks? So colour-wise, what have we used? Fuchsia pink, the gold, which is brushed gold. We added in some sea breeze blue. And I haven't used the mint. I love the mint. Oh, that's cactus. Let's find the mint. See if we can add in some mint as well. So long since I've done this technique, I'm kind of forgetting how to do it, but that's fine. We'll give it a squidge round in these, and then we'll have to share with you tomorrow how this dries. See what we can create. So we'll give that a bit of a mix through. Doesn't that look cool? And of course, if you've not seen this technique done before, you don't want to muddy it too much. We don't want to end up with just an obliterated colour. We need it to have some shades still in there. We'll then bring in some glitters. Oh, we've got some kitchen towel. That'll do for now. Did you? That'll do. It's not the end of the world. Normally you would add on tissue paper because a tissue paper would absorb into it and take it slightly better. But we're going to try with some blitz. I don't see there's a problem there. We'll give it a whirl. So we've added in some gold. That's our Heliodor. And then we're going to bring in some aquamarine. If you know somebody who's into unicorns, doesn't that look like the most unicorny background you've ever seen? Can you see that? How cool is this? And then and don't do this if you do this. But have a little look from that side. So this side, obviously, you've got the glue, which has gone on white. So the white of the glue, it will dry clear, and then we will see that colour come through even more prominently. So that's why we don't work on that side. We work on that side, but it's this side we want to look at. Now, the tissue paper, when we bring that in normally, would anchor this all down, and we can give it a bit of a squidge. Now, this seems slightly like this, fine. We're going to lay this over the top and see. I think because we've got a blue print in this, we're going to see the blue from the print, but we're going to give it a whirl. It doesn't matter. We weren't prepared for this, Wendy, at all, but it's good. This is what we like. Questions? And we'll see how it dries. We'll see how that comes out. I might even do one after this without the tissue on it as well and see what we create with that, because it might be that left on its own on the acetate looks quite lovely as well. But that gives us some backing. It also gives us a bit of a pattern. I'm going to mist over the top of this because I want that to be a little bit more squished. So we're going to then do that, and we're going to squidge it a little bit and see if we can get some ripples going through into that glue as well. And we'll dry it. It might look horrendous. We're not using the right products. But do you know what? If it does, we played, we tried. We'll see. But if it doesn't, Blitz is the answer. I think that's going to come out quite nice, actually. But we'll share that with you tomorrow. Good or bad, we'll share it with you. And I'll do one after this properly, and we'll have a look and see how that comes out as well. So we are now 1 hour and 25 minutes into this. I feel we should leave these poor people in peace. So does anyone have any questions before we let you go? Anything that you'd like to know if the products do? Anything that we can share with you? Any inspiration that you'd like to see from any of the products? Anything at all that we can help with? Please let us know in the comments. In the meantime, Peter, please could you be picking your winner for this evening if you haven't already? If anyone hasn't yet entered and would like to get it in quickly, Pete's question this evening is, what do you like to have on your pancakes? And he will pick one of the winners to win the tag we've created and the card that we made. And I'll put some ribbon through the tag to finish that off. And if the background comes out, okay, I'll send you that as well. If it doesn't, we won't, because you don't want rubbish. But if it comes out right, I'll send you that too. Have you picked a winner?
I've picked a winner.
Have you picked a winner? Alison asks, while you're still looking, have we got the texture paste back in stock? It's still on its way, I'm afraid. It is due to arrive with us at the end of March, was our latest update, wasn't it?
Yep.
So it is coming at the end of March. I could tease you.
Uh-oh.
Can I tease? Am I allowed to tease?
I'm trying to think which lane you're going down.
Which lane? Never the right lane. Never the right lane. All I will tell you is when it comes, it's going to have some friends with it.
Wow.
Wow. He's going to bring some friends with it. We wouldn't just have boxes of just clear texture based arrive. That would be silly. So there might be something else new that comes with it. But that's the end of March, so we won't talk about that today. But there is more.
Always something in the pipeline.
Always more coming. So yeah, it is coming. Sorry, it does take a while. That is the infuriating bit, sadly. We do have to wait a little bit of a while for them to get here. And that applies to everything. Our glitters, our texture pastes, our ink pads, our reinkers. If they sell out, they do take a minute to get back in stock. So yeah, you're always wise if you like the look of something. And this isn't a pressure thing. This is an honest thing. Get them why they're here, because if it does take us. When did this go? January, Christmas. So we had it
January
after Christmas,
time,
didn't we? We launched it Christmas Eve, and it was early January. It sold out, and we've had to wait from early January to March. That's us pulling as many strings as we can to get it here as quick as we can. We've still had to take 2.5 months to get it. So yeah, some things do take a while to get back in, I'm afraid. So Peter, do we have your winner?
We do have a winner. And tonight's winner, congratulations to Porsche Eastwood.
Oh,
He's gone for the traditional sugar and lemon. Yeah, congratulations, Porsche.
So it didn't have to be an exotic one then to win your favour this evening.
No. So
sugar and lemon will do it.
If you let us know if you want your card signed or not, Porsche, we'll sort that out for you.
please do, let us know if you'd like it signed. Send us your address and we will pop it in the post to you as soon as possible. So before we let you go, just a little reminder, these products will launch exclusively on Highlight Crafts this Thursday at 9 a.m. I'm with them for 2 hours. We'll cover some more techniques and we'll try and do some more bits and we'll show you some more examples with the architecture collection. Of course, I've done it. I think I've done it right all night, haven't I? I think I've got it right all night.
No tractors involved.
No tractors involved in them ones. The ink pads and the reinkers, they're going to have all of it available for you, all exclusively just at Highlight Crafts, right the way through till Monday the 10th at 10 a.m. and then it will be available from our stockists as well. Next Monday we will be back with you at 7 p.m. To celebrate Stockist launch day, and of course share with you some more inspiration and share with you some more examples, and of course do a few more demos as well to hopefully inspire you on what you can be creating with these collections. And if there's anything you'd like to know, again, if you've got any questions about can I use the reinkers to do X or Y, I would love to hear them, because if I really feel that they're a product that have got miles of fun in them, and if we can come up with some different techniques to share with you, I'd absolutely love to. So any ideas anyone's got, please don't hesitate to let us know. I'm going to say thank you once again to our lovely design team for doing all the incredible samples that we've got to share with you this evening too. We genuinely couldn't do this job without them. They're working so hard to bring you the best inspiration we possibly can. So thank you to all of our design team. They're incredible. As many of you know, we've got Lynn, Wendy, Sharon and Ian, and every one of them, once again for this release, has gone above and beyond what was requested of them to make sure that they're really sharing with us as many of their cool ideas as they can, and it's a pleasure to be able to share them all with you. Okay, from me, I'm going to go and find some dinner and possibly feed Pete. Possibly. Make it sound like you are genuinely a hostage that has to be fed.
Asked.
A little tray that I bring in.
I can't remember if it's Joanna. I can't remember who asked, have I been fed and watered?
Well,
so occasionally I do get fed and watered.
It's been good tonight, so I might bring him a little tray.
Yeah.
As is behaved.
Little tray.
Little tray. Little tray. Like you see on Prison Break. Little knock on the door. Thread for a hatch. We're going to end up with armed police here one of these days. Free Pete. Okay, we're going to say goodnight and leave you in peace. You've heard enough of our ramblings for the evening. Probably more than you needed. So thank you very much all for watching. Thank you for your excitement. Thank you for your feedback. And we look forward to seeing you all again soon, all right? See you on Thursday if I don't see you before.
Good night all. Night.
Night, night.